WTIM.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time now for the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better. With Landmark in studio, Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. How have you been this month, Chief Deputy?
I've been good, very busy.
A bit busy out there. We've been talking all about it. Let's get started with an operations update.
Okay.
Really letting us know what's going on out there.
Yeah, so like usual with the, a quick update on the last month's activity, the Sheriff's Office consistently, in about the same number with 33 incident reports. We've had 5 criminal arrests and 6 major traffic that would include suspended or revoked drivers. The deputy's been really busy with civil paper services, served 77 papers while doing all the other things that they're required to do. And 64 location checks, which would be businesses, residents that are out of town, vacations that they've posted on the Sheriff's app, vacation patrol checks. Resulted in 64 of those, and responded to 32 vehicle crashes. So it was a busy month with the deer crashes.
That is busy, and you say deer right there.
All 32 weren't, but like I said, that crashes with the deer moving heavily ups that number to 32. So additionally, activity in the county, we've been able to utilize the Christian County Sheriff's app, and the users of that would have seen where we posted 3 road closures, a major gas leak here in Taylorville, and 1 press release. And I was really excited about that press release because it pertained to a large narcotics arrest. We had an officer, Deputy Sergeant Telford, who was assigned to recently. The Sheriff's Office joined up with Taylorville Police Department in conjunction with their CAT team, and through getting through all the logistics, this was our first successful joint operation. And Sergeant Telford and Nick Todd with the Taylorville Police Department was recognized the other night as you was there with the recognition of their hard work and efforts in working together out. Started in the city, rolled over out into the county, and both agencies worked together and was really successful with that.
Just great. I love hearing about this teamwork there, especially Christian County Sheriff's Office there to help with just about any of the city's operations. Can you describe the CAT team and how it's formed and how the CCSO works into it all?
Yeah, so sometime back, Chief Wheeler come up with an idea of the CAT team for the interdiction of narcotics. Sure. And basically the acronym I believe is like the Community Action Team. Yeah. And they use it for narcotics, but they also use it assisting other agencies like Kincaid and Assumption and Stonington, and they just work together that way. And on the county side, when it first was implemented, it took us a little bit to get through some of the logistics of jurisdictional things and how that would work. And earlier this year, we got through that and basically put a couple guys as members of the CAT team and started interacting with that. And we, through some information that Taylorville obviously had received, the most recent narcotics arrest was started in Taylorville, rolled over out into the county. Sergeant Telford worked with their head of that program, and eventually it resulted in recognizing Officer Todd and Sergeant Telford for their efforts in the large narcotics bust that was just outside of city's jurisdiction out into the county. So we worked together, conducted a search warrant, and several arrests were made. So
I would imagine a lot of these operations will take you outside of city limits sometimes, so it just get a little bit weird with your jurisdiction there, but I'm just so happy to hear this. I mean, can we talk a little bit about the drug bust? I heard that there might have been some help from the public as well in all this.
Yes, and there again, it started in Taylorville, and Taylorville would have had more of the information of how that come about. So I do believe Chief Wheeler recognized the community reporting some activity, and it was able to gather enough information that would have led them out into the county. And then that's where we were, contacted, and we coordinated all the operations with Taylorville Police Department. And it was, I was really excited about the way that, we had to get through the jurisdictional logistics. And once we got through that, really looking forward to, future operations and working together on some of that stuff.
Attacking these problems from the source right there, and seeing the pictures that came out of it, it does seem like that's a substantial amount of drugs getting off the street right there.
And for us, the sheriff's office, it's twofold. We have one of our agents, or he's an agent with the Illinois State Police. So where we're doing drug interdiction, it's also not only locally, but we're also a part of the Illinois State Police Central Enforcement Group. So where we have one individual assigned to that, we've also now have, in addition to that, a couple guys assigned to the CAT team. So we've always been doing the drug interdiction. Now we're reining it in a little bit closer throughout the county, with having additional help for county and city.
Amazing.
So
I wanted to speak a little bit on that major gas leak that we had weeks ago at this point. I drove by it and I knew it was something serious, and gas leak is nothing to play with right there. Is that something the CAT team was brought in for, and how would that operation go that night?
So no, to my knowledge, I'm not going to, I can't speculate on whether or not it was a CAT team, because the CAT team, the way it works is you get notified, and there was no notification about it. But what it was, a utility worker had hit a gas line over on Holly Street in Taylorville. And the way I was notified was, there again, the different agencies are reaching out to get the information out. And the assistant fire chief reached out to me while I was in a county board meeting to discuss, or to see if I could get a notification out about a gas leak, at which time I left to see. And it was patrol that went door to door, cleared the area. The county assisted in traffic control and closing the area off. And then, of course, the fire department took over the scene. So it was more of a, with it being a natural gas fire hazard, it was the fire department in this instant that reached out. One of the road closures yesterday or earlier this week was Stonington. I had coordinated that with the Stonington, I believe their village maintenance supervisor. We had a conversation about them closing County Highway 4 entering Stonington. So as we develop and move forward with, notifications on the app, if you've got the app, you would have seen the other day where the railroad reached out and said, hey, we're going to close that McAdam crossing. So that's how we get notified on it, just kind of constant communication between, whether it's a village, the police departments, or whoever's got information that they want to get out to the public.
Great. Just so many entities looking out for these citizens here in Christian County and Taylorville and beyond. I'm really loving it right there. When we were talking the major gas leak and talking evacuations, it's a lot of manpower.
Yes.
So just hearing, that's patrol on the case right there. It's just awesome. We got Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office in studio right now. Let's set up our back half right now. Going to be talking about some bills taking effect in 2025. How can you preview this for
listeners? Yeah, so going into effect January 1 of 25, the General Assembly passed 295 new bills that go into law.
It's a lot.
Yes,
it
is. And so what we would basically be discussing on this back half is, there were 24 of them law enforcement related, and more specifically 10 of them that the citizens might be affected or potentially see locally how these new bills might affect or potentially have an impact on them.
Happy to be getting informed on these as we're moving towards 2025. Very, very quick here. And again, Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office with us, especially in this back half here on the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We'll be right back on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Fall means being active to attend your favorite festivals and bonfires. Let Taylorville Care Center help you get back into doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, recover and return home with Taylorville Care Center's therapy program. Great medical care with private rooms. Family and friends can come by to encourage your recovery. For Taylorville Care Center's therapy program, call 824-9636, 824-9636, caring for the community for over 50 years.
The Miller Media Group invites you to help those less fortunate during our 32nd annual Food for Families Drive. In Taylorville, bring your non-perishable food items to benefit the Taylorville Food Pantry at 1429 East Main Cross, Tuesdays from 8:30 a.m. till 10 a.m., Thursdays from 5:30 till 7 p.m., and Saturdays from 8:30 till 9:30 a.m. In Pana, put your perishable food items in the donation barrels at the county market or at the food pantry office at 200 West 2nd Street. On Mondays from 9 a.m. till noon, on Fridays from 3 till 5:30 p.m., and in Shelbyville, take your non-perishable food items to the First United Methodist Church, 205 West Main, Tuesday and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. till noon only. The Miller Media Group hopes you'll think of those less fortunate this holiday season in giving to these local food pantries during our 32nd annual Food for Families Drive. Thank you for caring and sharing this holiday season.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Seeing is believing, and your new customers can now hear and see your message. Deliver your message on our 6 Miller Media Group radio stations. And now, potential customers will see your message on our new 36 by 72-inch two-sided electronic sign installed in front of our Taylorville studios on Illinois Route 29. You have the opportunity of having your message seen by over 11,200 drivers a day. Contact your Miller Media Group account manager today and deliver your message through your potential customers' ears and eyes.
Get both COVID and flu vaccines at the Christian County Health Department. Both high-dose and regular dose flu vaccines are in stock. Make your appointment now to be protected this winter. Get their number and more info by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Here's Dr. Pavi Gill from Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
Lifestyle medicine is about motivating you to improve your quality of life by changing habits and behaviors.
Find out more by clicking Dr. Gill's icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station, in the midst of our morning show with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In that first half, we got an operations update, some activity going on in the county there. Let's talk about these new bills taking effect in 2025, who they have effect on, what it'll happen, what will happen here. And starting off with the first House bill here, what do you got for us, Chief Deputy?
Okay, so like I said, there's 295 new bills. 24 of them would be law enforcement aspect related, and 10 of those would be more specific to residents of Christian County. May not affect them all, but just like the first one, House Bill 4255 now allows for municipal and highway toll authorities to use green lights in combination amber and white. So that's going to be eventually you may be driving down the road and see a bright green light with yellow. That's going to be allowed for tow trucks now. So it's a change in emergency or public safety lighting. And then it also rolls over into and I won't read, like I said, this next one's House Bill 5370 to bore them with the numbers, but the next House bill says that, Scott's Law is now associated or tied to, adds Scott's Law defines an emergency as a scene, location, or stationary emergency vehicles is present with activated, oscillating, rotating, flashing lights. Also requires them to reduce speed and do a lane change if possible. So before, where it was just vehicles on the side of the road with hazards, and now we're talking a complete scene, you have to recognize that as well with Scott's Law.
Sure.
And then the next House bill there again ties Scott's Law to, first-time drivers. If first-time drivers fail a question on the test related to Scott's Law, the Secretary of State is mandated now they have to provide that information to the applicant regarding the Scott's Law. So all we're trying to do is teach them new drivers, if they fail it, to inform them and get them educated on it. Another bill is House Bill 277, which provides that if a person fails to appear in court and they have a phone number or an email on file, it now allows the judicial system to basically contact that information through text and email regarding the court's continued court dates. So it's expanding that, where a person might miss a court date and you get a text to say, hey, you missed your court date, here's the next one.
A little bit more convenient for them there.
Yep. There's several residents throughout the county that know if they participate in foreclosures, the sheriff is responsible for holding what they call a sheriff sale. And in the past, it's kind of like an old time auction. You show up, one of the clerks, the clerical at the sheriff's office in the first floor of the courthouse would have a gathered of anywhere from 2, 5, or 10 people or whatever trying to bid on a foreclosed house. What this bill now does, it says it permits the judge, sheriff, or a third party to conduct the sale in person, online, or at their own discretion. So there's services out there that instead of taking the time away from the day to conduct that, and it gets it out to more participants. So these online sales will now, the sheriff sales can now be conducted online. Mm-hmm. So that's just a highlight of some of them. There's several others. One of them requires new training for all EMS, police, and deputies that will be trained on cell phone access built into medical identification that's accessible without a passcode on somebody's phone. Wow. So they're doing things like that that's going to help in an accident scene, stuff like that. Sure. So they're definitely, some of them pertain to things that some residents may have interaction with. Obviously, like the green lights are going to be new. Yeah. And then some of them are only laws that would affect you if you're into buying foreclosed houses.
Yeah. Some of these are more mild than others. Yeah. And,
I'm
wondering about these.
And I will say there's, like I said, out of the 295, if anybody's interested, you can get on the General Assembly's website and see. It's amazing that there's 295 laws out there that some of them can be kind of, I don't want to say comical, but when you read it, it's like, I can't believe that that's a new law. But it's what the legislature, gets people to lobby for, and somebody picks it, passes a bill through the House or the Senate.
Even some of these are kind of interesting to me, and they're all really good. I mean, emergency scenes in Scott's Law, were people not already slowing down when they saw red and blue lights on the side of the roadway and there was an obvious crash right there? I mean, this had to, it's funny, like there are common sense things that needed to be put in like that.
Yes.
A Gawker's delay, I'm already slowing down and looking at
yes. But you'll have some people where there's a fire truck, an ambulance, and 3 squad cars on the northbound lane, and the southbound lane, a car goes by just like they're 55 mile an hour. It does happen. So this, the idea is not to just run out and give people tickets. And Scott's Law, if you are ticketed for it, if you don't recognize it, it is a suspension. It can be a suspension up to 6 months on your license. Yeah. So, but it's, if you think of how many officers statewide get injured by a vehicle passing by too close, it's actually, astounding that it's an astonishing amount of vehicle crashes or officers getting hit. And, this basically is put in place to make sure that everybody gets home safe, and it still allows them to do their job.
Absolutely. Very happy to be informed on these bills that are going to be moving into place in 2025. Chief Deputy, we got about a minute and a half left here. We got some winter safety tips. Just
a reminder, it's that time of year, those bridges are going to be freezing up before the roadways. And if you have a new inexperienced driver on the road, you want to basically remind them of that. Yes. So even as adults, sometimes we forget and get that little pucker factor when you go across the bridge and your car feels like it's on ice. Yep. And remind, even something that somebody hadn't maybe thought about with a new driver, you want to have those vehicles prepared, getting out, wet snow on your hair. If you're waiting for a long ride, you want to have a blanket, phone charger, winter clothing. And if your vehicle gets stuck, make sure that you want to be mindful of the fact that you've got to clear the snow away from that tailpipe if there's a chance that the rear end's pushed over in the snow, because you don't want those gas fumes coming back. Could be potentially fatal. So
absolutely, all such great things to remember here, and we haven't quite seen the snow, but it always is on the horizon here in Central
right
Illinois.
around the corner.
Absolutely, Chief Deputy, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office, right here on our WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for tuning in.
Your information station.